Hey guys, and welcome to our free live training. Today we are going to talk about Christmas debt, how to get yourself out of it, learning the vibration of money so we then can untangle with the money mind matrix and align with these new money codes, which will then get us out of debt and any future debt that may be coming. Who wants to have to pay all these bills? Let's leave the money mind matrix today. So, before we jump in, what we are going to do is do a little energy clearing. We always start with something to clear the energy, clear the space. So I've got some Palo Santo here. We're going to light this up. And if you guys want some Palo Santo sent to you, what I do invite you guys to do is to put up both your hands. I invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say, I receive. And we will do that now. And I will send you guys some Palo Santo, which gets rid of negativity. And when the negative is gone, it invites in the positive. So we'll do a little energy clearing here, clearing the space, clearing our minds. I love that I just looked at the timer and it said 111. Beautiful. Anything we talk about today, if any questions come up, you can type them in the chat. We are live here on Facebook and in the private on YouTube and the private Facebook group. This is where we're going to do all the free trainings, all the free master classes, any free coaching, stuff like that will be here on Fridays. So free Fridays. Okay. And if you guys have tuned in with me before, you know that before we get into today's masterclass, we always pull a card. We just want to set some good intentions, some good energy here. So I'm going to pull a card and then we're going to jump into the masterclass. So today I'm going to use this Archangel Michael deck. It was just gifted to me by a friend as a housewarming gift. And if you guys can see him, obviously filming in a new space. I have a new home now. I've actually moved across the country. So I am in warm Arizona now. And this beautiful gift was, this beautiful deck was gifted to me as a housewarming gift. So here is our card, our message from Archangel Michael. Oh, beautiful. Adam from YouTube says, I receive. Awesome. Beautiful. That was for the Palo Santo. We did a little energy clearing in the beginning. If you guys missed that, you can always tune back, rewind, and you can still receive. Energy can always be received at any time, even if you're watching the replay. So today's message, it says it's time to leave this unhealthy situation. Yo, let me stop here before I read the message on the bottom. That is so divine. That is so perfect, because this is what we're going to talk about, leaving unhealthy situations in the matrix. We're going to talk about leaving, oh my God, I got credit cards, I got debt, I've got school loans, I don't have enough to buy this, I wish I could buy that, I wish I could do a vacation. Like, this is the unhealthy situation. Like, is this card not perfect for what we're about to talk about today? So the card says, Archangel Michael, what parts of my life do I need to focus on more closely right now? Thank you for helping me hear your answers and for giving me the courage to make healthy changes in my life. So that could be something to reflect on, even a journal prompt, asking yourself, what parts of my life do I need to focus on more closely? You can meditate with that. You can call upon Archangel Michael and ask him. And then always, right, give that gratitude and thanks for helping hear the answers in advance, giving the courage to make the changes and for any messages that may come in. So this is today's card. All right. And let's see. We're going to get into Christmas debt. What do we mean by all that? Let's get into that, right? So Christmas comes around every year and we got to buy presents for our family, for our friends. Maybe at your work, they're doing a gift exchange, a white elephant, a secret Santa. Like, things add up. And if you're somebody that's been like living paycheck to paycheck, maybe you're on Social Security, maybe you're on disability, maybe you're on food stamps, maybe you just don't make as much as you'd like, and maybe you're okay, but you'd like more. It doesn't matter if you just are on the energy, because let's just use this as a scale of like completely broke to all the way rich, and there's everything in between. So there's people that live comfortably and they're fine and they can afford to take a vacation, but what if they could go travel the world and do more and have this abundant life, right? So it doesn't matter where you're at. We always can reach for a higher new floor. What I mean by that is we have a floor and a ceiling. Always let your ceiling rise up to the ceiling and then let that become the floor. Let your ceiling become the floor that you walk on and then continue to go higher and higher and higher. Always want more for yourself. Always want to strive more. Whatever it is, goals, dreams, aspirations, anything in life. Like always let that ceiling become the floor that you walk on. Why not do that with money? Right? So it doesn't even have to be Christmas debt, but I really wanted to highlight all of this energy now around Christmas because this is when extra bills come up. Like everybody in the world, well, most people, because some people don't, do Christmas. So they may do Hanukkah or they may just not relate with the holidays, but the majority of the world participates in Christmas. It's a holiday that's everywhere. And with that comes extra finances, extra bills. I got to go travel to see my family. I got to go see the in-laws, see my parents. I got to buy an extra, I'm cooking a 20-person dinner, a 7-person dinner. I got to go buy a turkey, a ham. Like even outside of presents, we have presents, right? We talked about family, friends, coworkers, all of the secret Santas and all the white elephants, all of the things. Then we have dinner and food, right? We got to make these extra meals, a Christmas Eve dinner, Christmas Day dinner, whatever it is. And we have travel expenses as well. And even if you're not the one that's traveling, you may have in-laws coming and staying with you, right? And maybe that's stressful. Maybe that's something you don't want to do. But if you left the money mind matrix, you could afford to put them up in a hotel. You could say, hey, you come stay with me. You wake up, you have your coffee with me, you hang out with me all day, but go sleep at the hotel, right? What if you could do that? So even if you're not the one getting on the plane, spending the money on an airline, you could afford to put, let's say you just got a mother-in-law that just knows how to irk you, right? Put them in a hotel, and I'm not saying you have to do that, but I'm just giving you some examples of like how money can be it can add up. All of the bills can add up around Christmas. And I'm going to stop really quick. I apologize if there's an echo. Like I said, I just moved, so I don't have all of the furniture set up, so it's more empty space. So I was just realizing how echoey it is in here. So I am working on that. I actually had some stuff delivered back to Illinois. So after waiting 2 weeks for it, so there was a little mishap with that. So it's going to be a little bit, but I am working on getting some more stuff in here. So apologize about the echo. But yes, so there's all this debt that comes up. And even if you can afford it, let's say, okay, all right, I've got stuff for my friends, I've got stuff for my family, I figured out travel, I've been saving up, I bought stuff ahead of time, right? I started getting my Christmas gifts earlier in the year, in September and October. I set aside money to travel, like I took time off work, I've got it all figured out. But then a little stuff still adds up. Let me grab this, let me grab that. Christmas happens to be at the end of the month, right? The end of the month, what happens? After the end of the month, we start a new month, and then rent is due. But your mortgage is due the first of the month. So it's like, even if you're like, okay, I made it through Christmas, then January comes, and it's like broke January. That's the one thing I always hear. It's like people get through Christmas, and then January, they're not going out, they're not spending money. Like even you can look at this is like, at least in the States, this is when restaurants don't do as good, bars don't do as good, stores don't do as good. People spent all of this money leading up to the holidays and through December that they're just not spending more money in January. It's like broke January. But what if that didn't have to be your situation anymore? What if January, you're like, I'm going to Tahiti, right? I can afford to take a week off. I can go buy this. I'm doing first class. Like, why not give yourself these luxuries? Because here's the thing. Money is an unlimited resource. It's the money mind matrix that keeps us trapped and that tells us it is not. And we're going to talk about all of that in a second, but like ask yourself these what ifs. What if you didn't have to worry about your credit card bills? What if you didn't have to worry about paying off loans? What if you didn't have to worry where you're going to get your money from every week? What if Christmas wasn't this stressful time around money? What if January you still had money in your account plus extra? What if all this could be possible? Would you be willing to figure this out and figure out how to get out of the money mind matrix? Is it worth it? Now now that we understand, and we talked about like how the money can add up during Christmas, right? And you can use this information for like debt anytime. It doesn't matter, but I really wanted to highlight this training around Christmas because so many people I've heard my clients and just people all around saying that, bills add up and all these finances add up around Christmas. And then January, they're just like, I can't go out. I can't do this. I got to stay on. I got to save. I got to get caught up on bills, right? But that doesn't have to be your reality anymore. That is a matrix limiting. That's the money mind matrix that's limiting you, okay? Our consciousness is actually so strong and so powerful. We can manifest anything, anything, anything. I promise you that. And I'm not going to get into a whole thing about that, but it's the ego, the matrix that keeps us trapped. So let's talk about this, and let's talk about what happens when you leave the money mind matrix. So first of all, it all just starts, like, our beliefs create our reality. Let's talk about this for a second. So whether you heard something over and over and over and it was a repetitive thought that made the belief, or because sometimes we hear something from someone else and you hear it 100 times, or you heard it on the radio, or you heard it from your mother, or you heard it from your ex-partner, whoever you heard it from. When you hear that repetitive thought over and over and over and over, it starts to form a belief, right? So now we have this belief in our reality. The beliefs they actually create our reality, because if you think about it, what happens is that belief, you're going to have a feeling about it. You're going to have a thought about it. Well, you're going to have a thought about it. Thoughts create emotions. Okay. And whatever that belief is, it's going to make you think this is true. This is not true. This is how the world works. This is how the world does work. They're like black and white thinking. It could be. So with those thoughts, then you're going to start to feel a certain type of way. So like with money, again, when we look at opposites, people either think money solves all the problems or it's the root of all evil. So that's going to make you feel a certain type of way. Good or bad, wherever you're at, you're either going to be like, money causes all of the problems. It gives me a negative emotion, right? It makes me angry. It makes me upset. It makes me feel life's unfair, stuff like that. Money solves all of the problems, right? Put it up here. You're going to have emotion around it. So this belief is going to actually help create your reality, because whatever emotion you're feeling, good, bad, and different, is then going to kind of project out. Because think about it. If you have a thought, so belief, thought, emotion, reality, this is where we're going with this, right? So if my belief has created a positive thought, it's going to create a positive emotion. It's going to create a positive reality. So I have a good belief about myself, my self-confidence, my self-resilience, my self-worth. Like, I feel good about that. I've worked in my belief system about that. So I have positive thoughts in my head and my subconscious going on because I've worked on reframing those beliefs. So now that I know I think good about myself, right? I changed my limiting beliefs that said I wasn't good enough. And I still work on this, but I've come a long way and I will still go a long way on this, right? Give you the example. So I changed my beliefs on what I thought about myself. Now I have new thoughts. I am confident. I am worthy of respect. I am resilient. I am, like, I feel, but you see, as I'm saying these thoughts, my emotions shifted. Like, that wasn't even like planned. I was totally going to go through these one by one, but you change your belief around something, it forms a new thought pattern. Okay. My new thoughts around my beliefs about myself, and we'll bring this all around money in a second. This is just a point I'm trying to make, it how energy works. So I used to have these limiting beliefs that said I wasn't good enough and all of these things, and we all still have them. They're collective wounds, but we first become aware of them, we start to address them. So I started deprogramming myself from the matrix and reprogramming the subconscious mind. And so I changed these limiting beliefs that said I'm not good enough. And so I started to build up my self-respect, my self-confidence, my self-worthiness, my self-resilience, all of that energy. So when that new belief was formed, I had a new thought pattern. That new thought pattern is, I am confident. I am worthy of people's time. I am worthy of respect, right? And so I developed these new thoughts because I changed my belief. The belief brought in a new thought pattern, right? But with that, it's going to make you feel good, because before, when I didn't have that self-confidence and self-respect, I didn't feel good about myself, It brought in loneliness, sadness, depression, all those lower vibrational stuff. But now that I've changed that belief and I have new thought patterns, right? You saw me when I spoke them. I started smiling. I got excited. I felt happy. I felt joy. Like there's new emotional things going on. So there's actually bringing this down to like brain chemistry and stuff. New neurons and new neural pathways get formed, right? But what happens is when that thought now brings in a good emotion, it brings in excitement, it brings in happiness, it's going to project out in your reality because that emotion, your emotions are creating realities, but it starts with that belief, thought, emotion, reality. Okay, this is how things go. So when you go in and change that limiting belief, you get new thought patterns, your emotions shift. And if you're in a, think about it in the emotional state, if you're in a good emotional place, if you're happy, good things are probably coming in, right? Let's say you woke up and you're in a great mood and you're just happy, you're overjoyed, and you got excited energy. Your day probably went really, really well. But if you woke up and you're just kind of pissed off and angry and lethargic, kind of sad, and just like whatever's going on, you probably didn't have a good day. Because where was your emotion? Your emotion is projecting out into reality. Emotion is like a vibration. So if you're holding a high vibration of like excitement, you're gonna have a good day, right? But if I'm holding this emotion of anger, I'm probably gonna meet resistance, and I'm probably gonna have a very frustrating day. So again, that thought made an emotion, and my emotion is going to dictate my reality of the day. So now when I have, again, we want the higher vibrational emotions, so we have the good positive outlooks, right? So we have the good day. So again, change the belief, you get new thought patterns, it will change your emotional state. And again, if you have a happy mindset, you're going to have happy emotion, you're going to have a good day. Like, I mean, just think about it. Think about how you've been in the past. And if you have a negative mindset, you're going to probably have negative emotions. You're probably going to have a not so good day, right? You're going to meet a lot of resistance. Maybe you're sad. Maybe you cry all day. Maybe you stay in bed. Maybe you're just frustrated. Maybe you're picking fights, like whatever's going on. So belief, thought, emotion, reality. Okay. So now that we understand how energy works, let's bring this all into money. Because again, Christmas, debt, we want to get out of this. We want to manifest money at will. We want to get out of the money mind matrix. So how does this all come together? Well, going back to, again, the opposites of money solves all of the problems, or money is the root of all evil, right? The two polar opposites. Money actually vibrates in the middle of neutrality. So what we want to do is we actually want to look at our beliefs on money. Because if we do think it's going to solve all of the issues, we're putting it on a pedestal. When you put something on a pedestal, you actually push it away, right? Because this is idolizing, it's this worshiping, it's thinking, you're better than me. So when we do that, because there's a push-pull energy with everything, we end up pushing it away. If it's down here, remember the up or down, if it's down there, you're no good, you cause all the problems, you're the root of all evil, right? We're now not giving it any importance. We're saying it causes problems. It's going to show you more problems. If you think money causes problems, it's going to keep causing more problems in your life. Like beliefs create realities. We just saw that, right? So if we put it down here, like we literally have to give it some importance because you need it to be a human. You need to buy food, water, rent, utilities, gas in your car, like to be a human right now in this day and age, you need money to live off of. We can't sit here and worship it, and we can't sit here and hate it. You have to find a neutral state of being and letting it be here and giving it some importance. Allow it to be here. We have two sides of us. We have the soul and the ego. Well, right now, while we have this, we live in this dualistic world, even though like, I was gonna go totally left with that, but let me come back because I was going to go off on a whole tangent about spirituality and getting into the 5D and how money is not gonna necessarily be where we're going, but that's futuristic. So let's get out of that. Right now, in this day and age, money is something we need to live, right? Otherwise, it's going to be more difficult. I mean, sure, you can go grow your own fruits and vegetables, but you're going to have to go pay to buy seeds, and you're going to need a roof over your head. Not saying that you need money, because I don't want to put that need out there, but money has to be of some importance to be a human. There is a reason it is here. We live in a dualistic world. So giving it some importance without saying you are the root of all evil or you solve all of my problems. Finding that middle path with money. Now, understanding that, okay, I need it, and can be one thing, but we have to change the beliefs. Now, it's easy to go, well, let me go change my belief and that's it. But some people, there's a more drawn out energy with this. And I was gonna go over here. I was trying to decide if we're gonna talk about this. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about that now. So that's kind of step one, is first we have to address what our beliefs are around money. So we have to reframe the beliefs. When we change the beliefs, let's actually put a pin on that. Because I was trying to figure out, I was gonna talk about that at the end. And so I was like, wait, I didn't want to jump ahead and confuse you guys. So yeah, let's just bring that back to money. We talked about beliefs, thoughts, emotions, reality. So if we change the belief, we see how it can change your reality. So we want to look at where our thoughts are around money, where our emotions are around money, where our beliefs are around money. Because if we just assume all of these things, law of assumption around money, we're going to keep seeing that things over and over and over and over and over. Okay. Let me tell you some of my experiences, and then we're going to bring this all back full circle, because I want to give you guys some like tangible stuff that you could see how it's worked. Okay. So again, we are born into the matrix. We all get trapped in the matrix. I have pulled myself out of it, but we all have an ego and a shadow. I get put back in and I get stuck and I have to re-pull myself back out. Whether it's a 1 second, a 1 minute, a 1 day, 1 year, whatever it is, to be completely like, I am just love and light and everything is perfect all of the time. Like, we have a shadow and an ego. Like, that's unrealistic. Life happens. I get triggered. Like, it's not that I just left the money mind matrix and all this money just comes to me. And so let's look at this realistically and practicality, and like, what do you do when things come up? Okay. So I learned how to get out of the money mind matrix, which we're going to talk about at the end. That's why I said let's put a pin on it. We'll come right back. I want to talk about what happens when we do in my journey with this. Okay. Because when I was able to get out of the money mind matrix, all of a sudden money started coming into me, and I lived in a really good place for a while, and I was abundant. I learned money is just energy. Everything's energy. We can change energy, good or bad, and every second we can change it good or bad. And when I realized I don't have to chase money, and I allowed money to come to me freely, because again, there's this push-pull energy. Like, people chase stuff. I want it, I need it, I have to have it, I think this, and they push it away. And so I let go of all the control. I changed my beliefs. I did so much inner healing on my money beliefs and all of the past around money, and I let it all go. And to be honest, I'm still working on it. But when you get out of the money mind matrix and you reframe your mind, I want to show you what is possible. Okay. So money started coming in. I started signing clients. It was just like one after the other after the other. I was like so busy, I had to like shut my schedule down. I was like, okay, like, thank you, universe, I received, but I'm like, it's going a little bit too fast. So I was on this journey of like trying to find balance. And because again, you have this huge purge, and then like things can come in. So I've learned to like work on things a lot slower. But I want to talk about when we get stuck also in the money mind matrix, because it's like I was good for these like 2 years, and it was like this financial freedom and everything was coming in. And then life comes in to test you, because you're never just going to be 100% perfect all the time. So what do you do when things challenge you? What do you do when you get pulled back in the matrix? Okay. It all starts with the mindset, like we talked about, changing those beliefs. I just have to trust the process. Okay. I've gone up and down where things have been great, and then they kind of plateau, and then we have to constantly work on the mindset. I constantly work on my thoughts, reframing them, deprogramming the subconscious mind, activating new neurons. Like, it's this ever unfolding thing. But once we first crack out of the matrix and you have these core skills, which we're going to talk about at the end, what they are, then it's actually really easy. Like, you could shift stuff in like a day. Okay. It's like what you have to do is first pop yourself out of the matrix. And then when you start to creep back in, you have this huge tool belt that will keep you out. So you don't have to just, oh, I'm trapped back in there for days, weeks, months, and years. Again, we'll talk about that all at the end, so stay tuned. So things were looking really good. And I was in this financial mindset and things were fine. And then I got really overwhelmed with my work and I had to close off my schedule. I couldn't keep up with all the clients. It was like, I was getting on like 5 calls a day to like sign different clients. And I was like, it was too much for one person. I didn't realize at the time I could have started group coaching, but anyways, not the point. So I was like, okay, I get it. I cleared my money blocks, but it's like, I couldn't keep up with the energy. So I took a step back from work and I really started balancing out my energies and working on myself. And I was a good place. But then again, as I'm taking a step back from work to work on myself, money stops coming in. I had actually been in a place where I hadn't driven in about 3 years, and it was one of the best decisions. It wasn't my decision to start with, but when my license was back, I was like, I do not want to get it. And I just sat with that for a couple of years, and I was just like, it was one of the most freeing things. However, I was finally ready to get my license back, and because I had not worked in a few months, and I was like really working on myself, there wasn't finances coming in. I knew I needed a car. But I knew I had this tool belt, right? We'll talk about that at the end. I knew I had this tool belt. So I was like, okay, I do not have enough to afford a car payment, but it's time I could feel it. It was time for me to get a car. It was time. So I literally this is how energy works. I trust the process because I got out of the money mind matrix. I walked into the first dealership and I said, I'm not leaving without a car. I want that car. And then it ended up being that car. I literally went in for like a mediocre car, right? It was fine. It was used. It was good. It was more than average. It was okay. And he ended up selling me an almost new one. It was like a year old, like all upgraded. I was like, I sat in it. Here's the thing. I'm very simple, very simple. I walk in and I was like, I need 2 things out of a car. I'm like, I have a water bottle that holds crystals. And I was like, this has to fit. It's really wide. If this does not fit in the cup holder, like I cannot get the car. And I'm like, I need dual temperature control because I'm always freezing and I want to blast the heat. And people, if they're in my car, they don't like the heat. 2 things. So I went in to buy this car. It was like, I don't know, a few years old, average, more. It was okay, right? The cup holder wouldn't fit. And I was like, sorry, find me another car. I said, I'm not leaving without a car. So again, a salesman, he's going to show me like one of the more newer models. And he shows me one with like, I don't know, very low. I can't remember what it was. Very low miles, like half less than what I originally wanted. And basically all that happened is I sat in the car, I put the cup holder and I was like, done. Let's sign the deal. I didn't even know the price of the car. It didn't matter because I didn't live in the money mind matrix. Actually, interesting, didn't find out for like 3 weeks, which it was like more than double what I was initially planning on spending, but that's okay. So I was like, fine, my cup holder fits. I'm like, I'm not sitting here trying to like test a bunch of cars. Like, it's all I care about, the dual temperature control. Like, what do we need to do? Like, I was okay, fine. If I could, like, I went in and we sat down, we talked finances, and all I kept asking is, I need to know my monthly payment. Can I afford the monthly payment? I don't know why I didn't ask for how much the car was. And it ended up being a lot more than I had even, I don't know. I hadn't driven in so long. I'll be honest. Okay. And maybe this is normal. Like all of my cars were gifted to me my whole life. Again, money, like I understand energy, and I hadn't ever really bought a car. And so I don't know. When he was saying like $550 a month in a car payment, I was like, that seems high. Like I figured a couple hundred, and I was like, I don't know. And I was like, something just told me I was in this flow state. I was like, just trust the process. It's fine. It's fine. I did not have $500 in my bank. Let me tell you that. I did not have $500 in my bank. We ended up like working it out. It was like right under $550 a month. And I felt good. I knew I could trust the process because I knew the money would show up because I had that toolbox. Again, state of the end. We'll talk about the toolbox. And I was like, okay, just sign the deal. Like, let's do it. Fine. I need a car. And I left with a car. Like, it's a pretty good car. I freaking love my car. It's a smart car. It's a genius car. It's only like not even 2 years old. And I'm like, it's amazing. So, and they have like no miles on it either. So I walk out and I feel really good, and I stayed in that vibration. And my mindset could have went, well, okay, I had to figure out how to make like $550 a month. I got to get car insurance. Like, what do I do? Like, that's another, ended up being a couple $100 on top of it. So it's like two something. So I'm like, where am I going to get this $7+ under $800 a month? I didn't have money coming in because I had to go work on myself. I had just got out of a 2-year dark night of the soul. I was completely burnt out. And it was like so much that I was spinning, and I was like, I needed to work on myself to get myself grounded. Where was I going to get almost $800 a month for? I don't know. But then I trusted the process. I didn't freak out. I didn't worry. I had been out of the money mind matrix for some time, and I had this toolbox. So I just stayed in this good mindset. And I was like, okay, it will all work out. I trust the universe. I let go of all control. It's fine. End of the month came. I paid a car payment. Like, here's the bill. All of a sudden, I was like, I signed a client. Like, money was just coming in. I booked an event. I got asked to do a speaker event. I was working a fair. Like, opportunities just fell in my lap out of nowhere. Again, because I trust the process. I changed my beliefs around money. I left the money mind matrix. So I will say this. I very much want to highlight this. I'm not telling you guys to go out and say, hey, if I go buy a car, the money will just show up. I'm not telling you to do that. No, because I don't want you to be like, well, Storia did it. Why didn't it work for me? I've done so much personal work. I left the money mind matrix. I've rechanged all my beliefs, and I've got this huge toolbox we're going to talk about. Without that stuff, I'm sure I would have probably had been like, oh no, how do I pay my bills, right? So I was able to keep that positive mindset, trust the process, not freak out, not stress out over it. And it felt in alignment. I knew, I was like, okay, it's okay. Everything will work out. Everything will work out. Money always shows up when it needs to. Money always finds a way to me, right? These are my thoughts around money. I never have to worry about money. Money comes in exactly when I need it. Like, making money is effortlessly and easily. Like, these are my thoughts about money. Instead of, oh my God, I'm stressed and bills and this and that and all of these things, right? So I keep good energy around money that I know it will just, I know it will just show up when I need it. So it's been, how long? I don't know. I got the car, let's see. I got the car last November. We're at now 13, 14 months going on. I've never missed a car payment. I've always had more than enough money in my bank account to pay for it. And it's been fine. And everything's been fine. I want to give you more examples. This isn't just one fluke. Let me literally tell you what's going on in my life right now to make this so relatable, okay? I was planning on moving to Arizona. Here I am. I wanted to move out here in October. The universe had other plans. I had money saved up, right? I knew I was moving across the country. I had to hire movers. Like, I had to get new furniture. Like, I knew this was going to cost more than just first month's rent and security deposit. I knew I needed a good chunk of money saved up. I had it saved. I was ready. I worked on it because there is this energy of also, budgeting, being smart, but not stressing out about it. Like, it's more free flowing, but just also not just, I just swipe my card whenever I want and it will just show up. Like, there is some realistic energy there as well. It's the two energies together. It's physical and metaphysical. It's free will and fate. It's spiritual in the ego and the shadow. It's two energies. So it's not just my head's in the clouds and I'm all loosey-goosey that like everything's going to work itself out to me. I have practical things that go to make this work. So again, last story, and then we're going to get into this toolbox and how you can be where I'm at, because it doesn't make me special. Like, anybody can do this, you guys. Let me say this real quick. Every person on this planet could be a billionaire if we get out of the money mind matrix. Money is an unlimited resource. Money is an unlimited resource. Money is an unlimited resource. There is no cap on it. You can manifest as much as you want, but you need to change your beliefs on it. You need to get out of the matrix. Then we all can go live the life we want. I'm telling you, anything is possible. And outside of the money, our consciousness can do so much. So, like, there's so many limiting beliefs in the ego and the shadow that hold us back from believing that. But like, it's just energy. We can change it, good or bad. Okay, sorry. I get so passionate about this because it's like, I've seen it happen in my life. I've seen it perform miracles. I've seen it change my life. I've seen it change my client's life, and I know it's possible, right? Like, we are the creators of this life. You are the actor, the director, the person watching the show, you're all of the things. Like, take control of your life. Get in that driver's seat. Go manifest the life you want. If you want to be a millionaire, you can make it happen. I don't need millions. Like, I need enough to get by and have a little cushion to live the life that I want. I'm good. I don't ask for more than I can receive. Interesting enough, I got another story on that, but okay. Well, we're gonna tell this last story about what's going on in my life right now, and then we're gonna talk about this toolbox. So, trying to move to Arizona in October. Want to highlight, there is a divine order, and it was not time to go. It was not in divine alignment, okay? Here I was trying to control the situation, leave by October 13th. I had the money saved. And let me tell you, the universe said you were not going in October, Astaria. So I had all of the money and I was about to apply to the place. And then all of a sudden I had to spend $3,000 on something. Within 3 days, like $3,000 showed up. And it was like, without that chunk of the money, I needed that to help me in the move. I was like, I can't go. Okay. So moving to Arizona in October, I've taken off the table because, again, there's two energies. There's two. It's not just fate, it's free will too. We can't force and control things. So I didn't stress out about it. Like, I knew I'd go when the time was right. I knew it was soon. I knew it was around the corner. Like, I could feel it in my soul. Like, I knew if it wasn't October, it's probably November. But instead of like freaking out and going, oh my God, like practically my whole savings was just gone, I needed this to move, I didn't stress, I didn't worry, because I knew that wasn't going to help me. Okay. Here it is, the end of October, and I could feel it. They're like, sign the lease, apply. Let me tell you, okay, actually, I went through a period of like, that money was gone. I still had all my other expenses. Okay. By the end of the month, I will tell you this. By the end of the month, this is to prove how beautiful things are. At the end of the month, I had less than $100 in my bank account. Okay. End of October. I knew it. I felt that itch. I felt the urge to like apply for the apartment today. That my spirit guides were telling me for weeks to pack my bags and to move. They were like, you're going. I have less than $100 in my account. How am I going to go pay first month's rent, security deposit, hire movers, pay for gas to drive across the country, buy new furniture? Like, the ego wants to know these things. And I said, I don't need to know these things. I don't need to worry about this. Like, that's not my issue, because it's not going to help me. So what I did is, again, remember with the car, was the first place I walked into, made it happen. The first place I applied to got approved. Okay. So I'm excited, but then again, like, oh, okay, I got to pay this money. I got like 10 days to pay this. Not going to break, not going to worry. The money will show up. Money always shows up just when I need it. It is fine. I got an opportunity. Listen to how beautiful this is. It was right over $3,000. I made it in minutes. I don't want to say in minutes. The offer showed up and I got negotiated in minutes, but it took a couple days to get the money. It was almost the exact amount that I had spent a couple weeks earlier. It just showed up. All of a sudden, I just got like over, I think it was like $3,064. And this beautiful opportunity just showed up in my lap. Because I didn't stress, I didn't freak out. Like, I knew it was an alignment to move. I knew I had to do it. Less than $100 in my bank account, and I made all that money back. Not in my normal work. This is like, I have my normal jobs that I do. This did not show up because I just signed another client. Because you'd be like, well, you're a coach, you can sign a client and they pay in full, or you work this work. This had nothing to do with my normal income. This was completely out of that. And this opportunity showed up in my life. And all of a sudden it was pretty close to the amount that I had spent, or the amount that I had to spend earlier that previous month, because again, the universe is saying it's not alignment. So they took it away because they didn't want me to go in October, and then they gave it right back because they said November's time to go. So here it was time to go. Money just showed up. Okay, beautiful. Now keep in mind there's a few other things in the story that I'm gonna talk about that's gonna relate to where I'm at now. It's all so beautiful. Okay, so during this time in October, when I had all those bills that showed up out of nowhere, like I wasn't expecting to. Why did I all of a sudden know $3,000 in like 3 days? It was wild. I injured my back and I didn't walk for several weeks. And even after I was back walking, I was still very limited on the work I could do. Some of my work is like I work fairs. I couldn't go work them. I am a Reiki practitioner. I couldn't work on my Reiki clients. I couldn't even sit up in a chair for an hour to see my coaching clients. I wasn't going live. Like all of my sources of income got taken away. Okay. This happened middle of October. I moved to Arizona middle of November, just to give you a timeline. Okay. I got approved to move in here end of October. Keep in mind, I'm 2 weeks into no work, can't walk, and I have less than $100 in my bank account. But I trusted the universe because I've been out of the money mind matrix. I'm like, I don't even know how I'm gonna pack or unpack. The movers are like, we're gonna be at your house in like 7 days. You have to pack up your house. I can barely walk. There's so much going on, but I'm knowing I have to do this. So again, I'm getting help. I'm doing whatever I can. I get my stuff packed and I move. I'm out of work. I'm telling you, I just got back to work last week. So we're talking the beginning of December. There was 6 weeks no work because of the back injury. Because again, I was moving across the country. There was all this packing and unpacking and getting settled. And there's a lot that goes in with that. So like 6 weeks no work. When I got approved for the place, I had $100 in my bank account. The move has cost me like well over $5,000. So more than that 3 plus whatever's still coming up along the way. You buy this, you buy that, and it's dishes and so much stuff, right? It was almost cheaper to buy a lot of stuff when I got here than have the stuff out here. So there's been a lot of things that added up before even the move. Now working 6 weeks, okay? So again, it's like, okay, I got November paid off. I'm here. I got here the middle of the month, but I had to go back to like get my cat. I worked a fair. I was there for like 48 hours and I came back. So by the time I actually got here and got settled, it was like November 20th. So we're at the end of the month, right? There was so much travel back and forth in November that I didn't even get a chance to work, that it was like December 1st was 10 days away and I have to go pay all of my bills again. My first thought was, oh crap, how am I going to pay my bills? I haven't worked in like 4 weeks. And I didn't stress because I knew that would not help. I said, it's fine. We'll work out. Money just showed up. It shows up. I don't have to worry about money. Opportunities come in. Okay. And I'm going to talk about all the details of that in a second. But all of a sudden it was like, I literally was like, I had exactly to the T enough to pay December's rent. It was like beautiful. Like it just, thank you, universe. Like things just come in, okay? Because again, I have these mantras in my head going on all the time. Money always finds a way to me. Money is flowing to me. Making money is effortlessly and easy. I never have to worry about money, right? I always have more than enough money to live off of. These are my core beliefs. This is what I feel, and this is what vibrates in my cells, okay? Now let's talk about how do you keep these thoughts all the time when the universe wants to poke you and test you, because it's been a lot. Let me tell you, moving across the country, dealing with this back injury, not working for 6 weeks, there's been so much emotional constraint. There's been so much emotional upheaval. There's been so much emotional purging. It's very, very taxing on the mental mind. I've had several like breakdowns in the moment and trying not to freak out. Like I think I cried for like a month straight. Like all of this stuff is going on. So in an energy of like one sense, I have to allow myself to feel what's going on. It was hard. I was saying goodbye. There was a lot of endings. I was changing my whole life and adjusting here. And there was so much going on. So I with all this going on, I didn't even have energy to focus on money because it was like the last thought in my head. So when December 1st came, it was like, whoa, hold on, wait, I haven't worked in so long. What am I going to do? But again, I couldn't stress on it for like 6 weeks. So it finds a way, and I'll talk about all that in a second. So I'm getting here situated, and I'm telling you, moving it's recent. They say like, what is it? Like marriage, divorce, moving. There's a few things like the most stressful things out there in the world. There's a reason moving is up there. Is a lot. I spent a week trying to find this was very frustrating. A week trying to find the right movers. They're moving across country. And I've heard about people taking your stuff hostage and they increase the rent or that the cost by the space and the weight. And the first, like everybody would try to put the fear in you of like, why you need to sign with me and they're going to charge you this and they want all of this. And it was a lot. There was a lot of phone calls and a lot of like, each phone call would be like an hour long because we'd have to go over all of the inventory. It was like a week of like mental stress with that, right? You're packing up and Moving is a lot. I'm sure you guys have moved. If you haven't, I don't think I'm moving anymore. Let me tell you that. And then you get here and it's like, you got to set up internet and cable and utilities, and you got to like all of the things. And it's been one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. And so for me, I know my triggers. I know where I get frustrated, okay? I cannot deal with customer service. If you're going to call your cable company, your cell phone provider, your internet provider, and you get someone, like sometimes maybe they barely speak English, which no judgment, but sometimes there's like a language miscommunication, or it just like, I can't, it sounds like you're talking to a robot, or they're reading off a script, or like whatever's going on, it doesn't matter. It's just, it's very frustrating to me. Dealing, again, you know what, I should take my own advice and change my beliefs on this. It would probably stop happening. But this is really good because this is going to prove a point. So I've spent a lot of hours on the phone with all of these customer services representatives over the last several weeks, leading up to moving and then getting here and getting things settled. And because I was allowing these triggers to press my buttons, things were manifesting in my reality and affecting me, good and bad, over finances and all sorts of type of stuff. It was like I was dealing with Walmart and Amazon and the cable company, all of these people, and like it felt like nobody was listening. And I was like, why is this so hard to fix? Like, what's going on? And I was getting really frustrated, to the point, like, I'm pretty calm, I'm pretty easygoing, but I'm just like, how many times I gotta say the same thing? Like, what, can I speak to a supervisor? Like, what is going on? Like, why is this so hard to comprehend? So I'm putting out frustration, I'm putting out stress, and I'm putting out worry. Now, let me tell you, it doesn't matter. Everything is vibration. Okay, everything is vibration. Everything is energy. So if you're putting that out, it can affect anything. So this is why I stay in good vibes all of the time, because my good vibes will go over all of the things. So here I am getting worked up, and it's starting to affect my money. It's like I had to wait 2 weeks on stuff I ordered on Amazon. It's supposed to be like overnighted, my Tupperware and my knives, and I ordered a dining room table. I changed my address on Amazon. It was the first thing I did. I even set it as default. They still shipped it to my old address. That's why we have no furniture. There's an echo. I had all of these blocks start coming up because I was getting frustrated. And so what it did, I had to call customer service again and like, what's happening, and trying to fix all of these problems, which weren't getting me anywhere. Frustration creates this resistance. Nothing's happening. I'm creating more blockages, right? This can manifest in money. Again, I spent money buying all of these things, and they weren't coming in because I was getting frustrated on the phone with customer service. So again, I waited weeks for things to be shipped. They're being shipped to the wrong place. Like my mailbox key doesn't work. I can't even get in my mailbox. Like things that are being shipped here, because I'm getting frustrated on the phone. This is really important to control. So there's so much more to just your beliefs. And that's why I said we're going to tell the stories, and then we're going to get to it at the end. There's more to it than just your beliefs. It's not just you change your belief and it changes your reality. Yes, that is true, but there's more to it. There's a whole bunch more. We'll get to it in a second. So my vibration, my energy, I'm getting frustrated, and it's trickling effects where it's like all the things that cost money that I bought, I can't get. I had this whole surrender moment. Let me show you how beautiful this is. Like yesterday, like all of a sudden it just clicked, because here's the thing, and this is why it's so beautiful that's happening now, so we could talk about this. It's never like, nobody's gonna live in the light 100% of the time. Things are just perfect, and I never have to worry. Like, that is unrealistic. That is unrealistic. I took these leaps of faith when they felt in alignment. I knew I was supposed to get the car. I knew it. So I took the leap of faith. I knew I was supposed to move. I knew it. So I took the leap of faith. I'm not saying every month I'm at a dealership just buying a car because I know how money works. No, right? Like, I knew it in my soul, and I could trust the process. So I got the car. I knew it in my soul, so I could trust the process, and I moved across the country. Okay. So there's more to than just changing your beliefs. So one aspect, again, divine timing plays a part of it. Another thing, it's like whatever vibration we're putting out can have rippling effects. And you just saw all that frustration I was having with the customer service representatives were affecting all of my packages getting here on time. So here's why it's so beautiful that, okay, so two aspects to look at this from. One, to show that even if you leave the money mind matrix, the universe is going to keep testing you. It's going to keep coming up. I had a choice in every moment to not freak out, to not stress out, to just Okay, they're doing the best they can. Maybe they don't have the answers. Maybe they can transfer me to another department. Maybe, excuse me, I can speak to a supervisor. Maybe I can call back later. I could have chosen any of those options on the phone in the customer service, and I chose to be upset, angry, frustrated. I was already stressed out over all of the move, and so it was like the last thing I needed. So the matrix pulls me back down. I let this happen to me for a little bit as I was getting adjusted. The matrix is pulling me back down, pulling me back down, pulling me back down. Right? And then all of a sudden my packages aren't coming in. Things are getting shipped to the wrong place. Because again, we're going to be pulled in and out of the matrix. Your vibration is going to go into the shadow. You're never going to be 100% in the light. And the universe will test you. So when this happens, I should have fallen back on my tool belt. I love that I didn't, so we could talk about it right here, though. Like, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. It's good for me to come on here and say, listen, I'm human. Like, hello. I didn't just go and manifest and pull things out of the ethers and make them come to me. I still get frustrated. I still get overwhelmed. And I let this happen for a period of time. And then yesterday, I had the complete clarity. Let me show you how quick the universe can come in for you. Yesterday, I just knew it. I was like, I'm done. I surrender. It's fine. I'm like, I realized every time, and I know it here, but my emotions, it took a part of me, and I just wasn't able to see things clearly. Like, I just wanted to do a drastic upheaval and change. And there was so much going on. So it was like, this is all I was creating. Yesterday, I was like, I know better. I know better. I know better. I wrote this program. I teach it to my clients. I need to eat and live and breathe it. Like, why am I not falling back on my tool belt? So I was like, okay, like, I surrender. I'm done. And I just, the second I said those magic words, I surrender, like, instant shift. I remember getting in the shower and I just felt lighter. And there was this song in my head. God, I wish I could remember it. But it says something about, like, there's no need to worry. There's no need to worry. It might come to me. I was singing it, and I was going to tell you guys it in the song, in the live today, but I can't remember. So I'm like, there's no need to worry. Like, I'm good. And I was like, the universe got me. The universe got me. I let go of all the resistance. I let go of all of this. I let it go. I let it go. I let it go. I let it go. Let me tell you how fast the universe came in for me, okay? I'm not saying it'll always come in overnight for you, but because I've worked on these core beliefs, because I've gotten myself out of the matrix, and because usually a good time, I fall back on these tool belts, the universe knows that resilience. The universe doesn't care how many times you fall off the horse. They just want to see how quickly you pick yourself back up. Not even how quickly. The universe just cares that you pick yourself back up. They don't care if it takes a day, a week, a month, a year. Just pick yourself back up. So I was like, I'm smart. I know better. I've got toolboxes. I know how to do this. It's fine. I trust, right? So one of the things that was happening, the dining room table that I had shipped, that I'd ordered, got shipped back to Illinois. I paid shipping. I waited 2 weeks for it, all of the stuff. The seller was like, there's nothing we could do. We have proof of delivery. Like, you have to return it. You've got to deal with all this stuff. It was like 3 days of headaches. The seller would not hear me. He's like, it's yours. You paid for it. Like, it is. He would not help me. Like, I tried calling, like, I tried every department, every avenue. Like, what can I do? Spoke to a million people. And I was like, I hit a brick wall yesterday. I talked to the seller and he's like, either have it shipped to where you live now, fly up there and get it. He's like, I don't know what to tell you. So I was going to be out like hundreds of dollars. So I was finally at that moment of surrender in the shower and I let it go. I wake up from a message from him today that says he will give me a full refund without returning it. We have been going around and around for days. I ordered it off Amazon. It was a third-party app, okay? And so I had to go contact the seller. He had proof of delivery. They take a picture. I've contacted Amazon. I talked to their supervisors. I talked to the person in charge there. I talked to the third-party seller. We've emailed, we've texted, we've been in the app. I've had multiple phone calls. And they were like, we have proof of delivery. This is the address we have. Even though I did go in and change my address. Like, I literally, it was the first thing I did, but that's a whole other story. This just shows you. Anyways. So 3 days, nope, I can't help you. Like, I can't help you. You can return it to us. Other than that, I'm like, he's like, it's yours. I had that clarity moment of I surrender. And I woke up this morning, he said he would give me a full refund without returning it. Now, I don't live in a greedy place. Again, this could be a test of the universe. I told him, listen, luckily it was delivered to my mother's house. The thing was a ton. I'm working on somebody to get it. dropped off to a UPS store so they can get it to Amazon and get it sent back to you. It's just a process I'm dealing with. I don't live in that state. I could have kept the table and made a few $100s, right? Money manifestations, but I'm not greedy. I don't need the money. I don't mind paying for stuff, right? That even energy exchange needs to be there. So instead of being like, thank you, let me keep the table, no, I'm still working on doing what's right because I'm a good person and I'm getting the table returned to them. It's just taking time. Like I spent like $70 on shipping, so I didn't want to spend another $70 on returning it. So there was this big whole, like, even if I can get somebody to return it and take it there, you know, like, what do I do? It was this whole issue. And the guy was like, I can't help you. Out of nowhere, I let go of control. I surrendered, and he said he'd give me a full refund. Like, that just shows you how quickly you could turn stuff around. I was like, why am I not falling back on this toolbox? So we keep talking about this toolbox. We keep talking about all of these things. It's finally time that we talk about this stuff. So again, some of the things I want to highlight, I'm going to get my board over here. And we're going to highlight some things that need to be done if you want to leave the money mind matrix, okay? So, number one, we need to change our beliefs on money, okay? Now, I don't have the best handwriting, so just bear with me there. Okay, number one, we need to change our beliefs on money. That has to happen. We have to go in and figure out what they are. Like I said in the beginning, do we put things on a pedestal or we put it all the way down here? Figure out where we're at so we can get into that neutral state being, okay? Number two, we also have to remember, and I don't mean this in any order, I'm just going to put them in as the order we talked about before we start getting into new stuff. Remember, there's a divine timing at play. I didn't just, I'm going to go get a car because it feels good. I knew it was time and I trusted the process. So it's really trusting, not just trusting the process, but trusting divine timing, right? Divinity. Like, if something, when you get that intuitive nudge, when you feel you're supposed to do something, act in it. It wasn't that I was trying to be greedy and just be like, let me go get a car. Like, sure, at some point I needed a car, but like, if you feel the universe speaking to you, if you feel your angels are telling you something and you're like, you want me to go buy a car, but I have no money. Like, listen, if you feel it, do it. That's when you take the leap of faith. There is leap of faith. So this actually, well, where's my eraser? So there is a divine timing energy. Let's put it this way. So let's say trust and take the leap of faith. When it feels right. When it feels right. Because this is going to lead to divine timing, okay? I think it's a better way to put it. Okay. All right. So trust is a really big part of it. The other thing is, we just talked about surrender. The second I surrendered and took my hands off that steering wheel and I let go of all that frustration, for me, it was an overnight miracle. Depending where your blocks are, depending on how much work you've done, you can get yourself there. Now, day one, when I started working on all of this stuff, it would not have been overnight. I've spent the last several years working on all of this stuff. So the universe sees, okay, we know that you're not one who's just going to talk the talk. You will walk the walk, Astaria. And I'm getting goosebumps as I say that. So if I prove and back stuff up, they'll come quicker. Something that could have taken months will show up in weeks, in days. And then for me, it ends up being overnight. I just needed to surrender. So remember, to surrender, we have to let go of control, okay? And let go of control. All right, so these are the three things we've talked about so far. But what I want to talk about next, and we're going to intertangle this with all the things with the toolbox. So for me, Okay, when I went through my spiritual awakening, I realized there was this matrix out there, right? It's literally all the mind. It's all the mindset. When we go into the ego and the shadow, it's just all your mindset. Like you literally can change it. Who says this? Tony Robbins, change your beliefs, change your life. Change your mindset, change your reality is what I say. It's the same thing. Like you're literally, your mindset is going to project everything out. But it's more than that because your mindset affects your vibration. We talked about, let's see, let's talk. We talked about how your vibration can have rippling effects. My vibration and getting frustrated with customer service over setting up home internet rippled out into delayed packages. Like vibration, you need a high vibration, okay? High vibration is key. Okay, because the higher your vibration, like we talked about, thoughts and emotions and realities. So if you're in a high vibration, you're going to keep attracting good stuff with you. I do want to highlight this. I'm going to put this kind of in parentheses. This isn't something we talked about. I don't want you to just live in the light and just pretend everything is perfect and I am just, that's not necessarily real. When stuff comes up, we still deal with it. As I talked about, this was a huge emotional upheaval. I like cried for a month. It was hard to say goodbye. It was hard to leave relationships. More than half of my income comes from in-person events. Like I'm constantly doing sound baths and ceremonies and fairs and festivals and like I have in-person clients. That's more than half my income. I left my business behind. I left my friends behind. I left my spiritual community behind, all my support, my family. Like, so there was a lot. So along the way of my move, I couldn't just be, everything's good. Like I'm moving, like wanting to cry, but with a smile on my face, right? It was sad. There was an ending. Like I still had to address. So we don't want a spiritual bypass, right? I'm just going to highlight that. So if you don't know what spiritual bypassing is, that means we ignore the emotions and kind of push them down. It's more than that, but I'm going to, without going on a whole tangent. So high vibration is key, but we don't want a spiritual bypass. You don't want to just be like, everything's fine, but I want to cry. Like, no, if you need to cry, cry. Like, deal with it in a healthy manner. So don't spiritual bypass. Okay. Allow whatever comes up along the way and deal with it in a healthy way. There's a way to healthily deal with stuff, even anger. Everybody has anger. I don't want to go off on I feel like we're talking about so many things, but everybody has anger. It's how you deal with it, right? So healthy anger versus unhealthy, right? Walk away, take some deep breaths versus yelling and screaming or punching, right? That's what I mean by we have a healthy response or a negative response. So allow whatever comes up, don't spiritual bypass. Vibration is key. Vibration, no matter what's going in your life, wherever you're vibrating is going to project out into your external reality, okay? But I had this toolbox because what happened was, so my guide showed me a bunch of different tools, practices, rituals, a bunch of stuff to help clear my mindset and remove my money blocks. I'm still working on to this day. And my guide showed me they showed me this program. It wasn't a program at the time. It was practices and traits and principles and rituals and all the things to work on for myself. I started working on it with myself. I started realizing my money blocks were being removed. I wouldn't have worded it at the time because it wasn't like I wasn't coaching yet. I didn't have this vocabulary yet. I know that I was meeting resistance and I wasn't living the financial life that I liked, and I was living more in a poverty mindset because I had a scarcity mindset. So my guide started showing me ways to work on, my vibration and release these money blocks. And the more I did it, the more money started coming in. When I saw how easy it was to reframe my mindset and remove these money blocks, I had lasting results with it. I built the Master Your Money Mindset program. It's very simple. Bringing it all the way back to my spiritual awakening, I realized there was a matrix out here, and it starts with your mindset. It's a mind matrix. You master your mindset, you can get out of the matrix. But again, it can kind of pull you back in. Ego is driven in fear, so you have a good spiritual toolbox to get yourself out of it when you get pulled back in. Same thing. In the big matrix, there's a money mind matrix, right? And so when I started learning on ways to get myself out of the money mind matrix, I realized, okay, mindset is one. Okay. So what I did is I worked this program that wasn't even a program on myself. and then I built it into a program, and then I now do it with my coaching clients. And so it can be as simple as 4 weeks. In 4 weeks. And I'm telling you, every client who's ever worked this has seen money come in within 7 days. Okay. So let's look at this. We have these 4 things to keep in mind, but let's talk about what happens if we want to leave the mind matrix. What does that actually look like? What is the detailing? What are these things I can fall back on that I know I can do? Well, in week 1, we look at what were beliefs. We're going to look at everything in week 1. Week 1 of this program, to get out of the money mind matrix where you can start manifesting money as well, we change the beliefs. We look at the beliefs. It's all about beliefs. We've got mantras and so in week 1, we're going to look at all of your beliefs, but what we're going to do is it's going to take an hour at least. I have a guided PDF and I'm there with you. We look at everything. It will ask you questions to look at all aspects of your life, going in from childhood, from your parents, going in from jobs, going in from schooling, going in from roommates, going in with living with partners, going into your now. We're going to look at all of your beliefs and everything shaped around money. And we're going to label them. We're going to first identify. We're going to identify these beliefs so we know where the blockages are, right? We're going to figure out where you are with money, and are you up here or are you down here? Or you're somewhere in the middle, or maybe you're both. We're going to identify these beliefs, okay? So we know what we need to course correct, so we know what we need to fix. Week 1 is all about understanding your money, your money blocks. It's about understanding where you're trapped in the money mind matrix. Along this way, we are going to build money mantras that are personalized to you. I have a sheet that go-to ones. I've done these on live. I've literally said some of these mantras when I've done live trainings before, and then I've came back 7 days later and we do a checkup. And then we're like, hey, I manifested this. Like I sold a boat. It took me like 3 years to sell. I had this one key mantra. And I'm not going to say it, but I've said it on my lives before. And I was like, listen, this is how powerful this is. And then we were doing a training on it. And then we came back the following week and I was like, guys, it's been 3 years. I've been trying to sell this boat and I sold it in hours after saying this. So I got a sheet of ones that are like my go-to ones that work for instant cash, fast cash, large cash. Like how I said all those mantras earlier that are playing in my head, I've got a whole sheet of ones that work. Okay. But we also build ones that will work for you based on your beliefs. So once we understand where your personal money blocks are, we know how to get you out of the money mind matrix. I can tell you all general stuff, but we all have different experiences. You may have got passed up on a promotion. You may have had a roommate not pay you bills. You may have had college debt. Like, we want to tailor make these, because even though these can be general things, they can also produce different emotions in each of us. And one person may experience this a day, or another person could experience it a year, and there are different levels of frustration. So we will do a lot of tailor making. So week 1, we identify all of the blocks. Now I'm going to say this program that I have of leaving the money mind matrix is probably the most challenging, but the most freeing. I have people that work with me up to a year. My most common program is a 7-month chakra cleanse one we do. And this, because we look at everything. We look at everything from childhood to now. We're going to clear all of the stuff, okay? So we go in deep with this. That's what I mean by challenging, only because we're going to look at everything. We're going to clear it all. So in week 2, what we're going to do, we learn some ancient, okay, so we learn a few things. We're going to learn, let me write this down. Prayer, forgiveness, gratitude. Okay, so remember earlier we said belief goes to emotion. This is more thought. Week 1 is all mental and thought. Week 2, we get into emotion. Week 1, we label and identify what they are. Week 2, we see how it has had rippling effects in your whole life. You have one blockage, it's going to continue to create blockages. We're going to find all of the rippling effects and how it's affected you in an emotional state of being. Week 1 will piggyback off of into week 2 on a deeper level. Like we go surface level on week 1, figuring out where the blockages are, and then we pop it open and we go way deep. So all of this goes into it. This is more superficial. I mean, this is deep work. But when you compare week 1 to week 2, we go all the way to the root cause here. Okay. So there is more of this, and we learn about ancient techniques that have been scientifically proven, that have been used for years and decades and centuries. And depending on what we do, there's different things. We learn about forgiving and letting go, all of these things. What the method I used, my personal forgiveness method that cleared all of these blockages, okay? We learn the power of gratitude, because gratitude can literally perform miracles. I promise you that. We're going to learn about gratitude performing miracles. We're going to learn about gratitude for money. We're going to learn about gratitude manifestation. We're going to learn how to forgive all of these things. We're going to forgive everything. Forgive everything. We're going to forgive it all. We're going to find a way. This forgiveness method that I use is going to clear up all the blocks, okay? So we're going to go in. This is deep work. We actually also in this week, we do a session of inner child healing, because again, these blocks don't come from today. Like they come from your upbringing, your parents. Like, so we do an inner child healing session, and I teach you some methods that you'll be able to continue to use for the rest of your life, right? So we're going to do this. We're going to do the manifestation with that as well. This is a big week of healing. It's going to be a big purge, but you're going to learn these great techniques to go apply to all of this, okay? There is, again, you're here with me on the session, a guided PDF. I'm still doing week 2, let me tell you, okay? Because week 2, with all these methods that we learn, you're going to take and apply them to week 1. Plus, we have week 2's PDF where we look at how all this got created, where we have to go in and forgive it. So week 2 is the most challenging, not the most challenging. It's going to take the longest, so I'm still doing it. But here's the good news. As soon as you crack it open, money comes in. Week 1, money will come in. When we start week 2, because you worked on week 1, if you work on week 1, you will see money in your life week 2. You will. I've never seen it not happen, okay? Week 2, once you open the door to week 2, money will continue coming in, okay? So then as I continue to work these programs and these things, I can work through these blocks, but I also need to remember all of these things as well. There's more to it, but let me keep going, okay? Week 3, to be honest, let's just talk about it there, okay? So week 3 is more, we have 2 sides of us, right? We have the physical and the metaphysical, okay? This is mental, mind, let me write this down. Mental, mind shifting, and manifestation. So week 3, we're going to learn how to get out of the mental world, all of these blocks. This is a lot of mind shifting, mental manifestations. This is more masculine healing. This is working with the mind, deprogramming the matrix, working with the limbic part of the brain, the subconscious mind, working the reticulating activating system, practical physical things, okay? Week 3 is all earthbound, my physical being, how we can make the ego go sit in the back seat so we can sit in the front seat. This is all physical, mental, mind stuff dealing with ego and shadow. And we do a lot of manifestation, stuff that you can see quick results on. Like you do week 3, you can make some money. You can make some money, okay? When we get into week 4, because again, we have 2 sides of us. We have the physical and the metaphysical. Well, let's go manifest to the woo-woo. This is all esoteric manifestations. This is all money manifestations. Oh. So what we do here is we learn how to work with color therapy, herbs, candles, sigils, money magic. Like we bring in other things, tarot cards, like how I can manifest money with spiritual crystals. Like You learn different rituals. You could call them spells. You could call it manifestation, whatever you want to call it. So if we don't first go to the root cause and pull all this out, money manifestations is only going to get you so far. I can teach anybody to manifest money, but the problem is if you don't go to the root cause and pull out all of these blocks, you may manifest $1,000, but then your furnace breaks and you got to pay it back. Okay. Week one, we go to the root cause and we look at everything and we pull out those roots and then we go to the healing. When we clear the root cause of what's really going on, these limiting beliefs, we can get you out of the money mind matrix. When this happens, true healing happens. When you pull out those roots, it's going to leave a hole. We don't want that hole to fill up with more negativity. So this is why we flush in so much healing in week 2 to fill it with positivity. It's replacement therapy. We reframed the whole mindset. We got out of the money mind matrix and we pulled in new reality, reframing it. Deprogram, reprogram, right? Pull the root cause out, put it back in with love. Week 2 is all about healing. Week 2, you're going to learn, and there's more than this, but do I have my notebook? It's probably, I was going to see if I had my notebook with where I was working the money mind matrix at. I have like 8 notebooks in front of me. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's the blue one. Yes. Okay. Beautiful. So my week 1 of Master Your Money Mindset, okay, is 1, 2, 3 pages. Then we go into week 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages. And I'm writing every other line. These are all my beliefs that I'm going in. This is my toolbox. When I get stuck, I know there's a block I didn't work out, okay? I had blocks that I uncovered in week 1. And so when I start to work through them, I've made these check marks. Check, 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 check. So I go on my list and I'm like, here's where I left off. When I get stuck, I go back and here's where all of my problems are created, okay? I've identified everything that keeps me trapped in the money mind matrix. To do all of this healing is going to take a long time. But the second you start healing one of those things, when I did my first healing, money started to come in. I started to forgive and let go of all of the stuff of my whole life, right? I worked on forgiving coworkers and my parents and roommates and lovers and everywhere money was entangled. I spent too much on this. I bought this. I didn't use it. Built up resentment, like whatever. All these experiences and thoughts and emotions and feelings and everything that's created something negative, I've addressed it all. We go in, we look at everything from childhood, even stuff that's out of your control, that's become yours. Somebody else's belief can become your belief, subconscious programming, right? Your ex, your partner, your parent, your whatever's going on. We're going to identify all of those. So when I get stuck, I go back to my homework, my program, and go, where did I leave off? Let's go forgive, heal, let go of these blocks. With this powerful forgiveness method that I use, ancient prayer and this gratitude, these 3 together, I use these and I go let go of these blocks because when I get stuck, there's a block in my way. I haven't healed all my blocks. I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I still got 8 pages left of my week 2. That tells you I only did 2 pages and I've been able to manifest thousands of dollars overnight. Like I'm working on it. I'm constantly working on it. I've got the tools. I know what to do. I know to surrender. I know to let go of control. I know to keep my vibe high. I know to take inspired action when I feel it, whether there's money there or not, because I know it'll be okay. I know I changed my beliefs on money, but it's a constant thing, right? I just got frustrated for the last week dealing with all of these issues that came up. You heard my story. The second I surrendered, full refund. Like there was this for days. So my guides know I work the program. I continue to work the program. All you have to do is get yourself out of the matrix this much and continue to work it. I've never seen somebody start week 1. When we start week 2 and we check in, I've never seen somebody say money didn't come in. I've never seen that happen, okay? That's how powerful it is. And then week 2 is the big purge. Like I'm still working week 2. Money will continuously come in. It continuously comes in. I had my moment, surrender, money came in overnight because I had all these toolboxes. I know what to work on. This is my toolbox. I figured it out in week 1. The toolbox is understanding my blocks. You identify the problem, then you go in and fix it, course correct, do the healing, right? So then I go back and I use all of these techniques. You'll learn all of these techniques. I'll teach you these techniques in week 2 so you know to see instant shifts. These are instant quantum jumping stuff. I'm not making this stuff up, guys. Science has proven this stuff. There's plenty of people that have, this stuff is like these ancient practices like that we just aren't taught in school. You'll notice the effects. We're going to do a round of it in week 2. You're going to see the effects in week 2. You're going to see more. You're going to learn more techniques. Mind shifting, working the mental plane, bringing the spiritual and the more esoteric, and using stuff like crystals and herbs and candles and all the things we talked about. Like, I'm giving you everything I've ever learned about the money vibration in these 4 weeks. And to be honest, I usually only do it in 3 weeks, but because it's Christmas, you guys have seen any of the posts that I'm doing, I've added in this bonus week. I usually do this as a single session. I usually don't do this week in there. We get yourself out. I've done this because people are like, how do you manifest money? I'll teach you how to manifest money. And I used to only do money manifestations as single sessions. But then I realized if you don't get to the root cause and pull out those blocks, manifesting money means nothing. So that's why we have this in here as a bonus week. I feel like getting the root cause then brings you in alignment. And this is a toolbox. This is a toolbox. This is a toolbox. Everything you learn in these 4 weeks is a toolbox, okay? All of these things we go into, man, so much. Okay, so I have not paid attention to the chat at all. I apologize. I see we're already over an hour. Oh, beautiful. Awesome. Thanks for the thumbs up, the hearts, beautiful eyes. You're welcome. Thank you. Oh, I just cleared that. Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I wasn't replying. I got caught up in the passion. Thank you. I see your comments. Awesome. Over on YouTube, a couple on Facebook. Beautiful. Any questions about any of this? Like, please, like, let me know. I can go into greater detail and explain what we're actually doing in the program if there's any more questions. But let me tell you what's going on right now. Because it's Christmas, right? I understand finances are high. Like, this is what, here's the thing. It's not my job to be your guru, your teacher, your master. Like, no, I want to activate your own. You have the energy within you. Your intuition is stronger than my intuition. Always. My intuition is stronger than your intuition. It's mine, right? Like, always trust your own being. Learn these tools. And then, like, I learned these. My guide showed them to me. So you can teach the world these things. There's a reason I work on YouTube and online on social media. Like, I'm supposed to teach the people stuff. I don't want somebody to come to me each week and give me their money. I'm not doing my job. My job is you learn these skills once. You have a lifetime of stuff to fall back on, and then you don't need me anymore. Like, my best job is when a client doesn't come back and re-sign with me because they've learned enough and they don't need me anymore. I'm not here to hold your hand and be your teacher, your guide. I'm here to show you the skills that were shown to me so you can become your own guru, your own guide. This gets you out of the matrix, okay? So what this is this is a lifetimes of work, especially week 2. Money will start to come in, but what would you spend if you could manifest money at will? Like, how much would that cost? To me, it's a priceless thing. Like, I would spend, if somebody told me I could learn these things one time and then be able to manifest money anytime I wanted, I would spend thousands of dollars to do it because, again, it's a one-time investment in my future that I have for the rest of my life. Like, for me, I would spend whatever it costs. Like, if somebody said that you could spend $10,000 and turn it into $1 million and you have this money for the rest of your life, like, I would do it. But I also know that I want things to be very affordable to people. I want them to be able to have these skills. I'm not here to charge people thousands of dollars. My job here is to help awaken the collective consciousness, okay? As earlier, we talked about that even energy exchange. There always has to be an even energy exchange. So let me see where we can, I'm going to erase some of this so we can talk about. Oops. So my best thing I can do to hold the integrity of the program, because this is like a lifetime worth of work, And to keep it fair, where people can't afford this, is my guides have showed me to charge 1, 2, 3, 4 for 4 weeks. But we are not going to pay that. We are not going to pay that. We are not going to pay that because we are doing 55% off from now until Christmas, okay? I decided to do this. My guide showed me this December 1st. I literally did not even plan on doing this. December 1st, I went and wrote these posts, okay? 25 days of Christmas. Let's just say of Xmas, just to save space, okay? 25 days of Christmas, you get 55% off, and you get 1 extra free week of coaching. Now, what does this actually look like? I'm going to give you a couple options to make it even more affordable, okay? 55% off leaves you to $555 total. You can spend that, but I would tell you most of my clients are on weekly payment plans, okay? So if you take $555 and divide that, I don't know what the number is, by 4 weeks, now just bear with me where we have multiple options here, okay? That leaves $138 a week. 138? 138.75, 139 a week. Would you spend 139 a week for 4 weeks to manifest money at will? You heard my story. You've heard. I'm not saying people can go and get a car out of nowhere. It's because I've done all of this. I moved across the country because I've done all of this. Okay. I am trying to make this the most affordable to everybody. Some people cannot afford 139 a week. Let me tell you another option. I'm going to give you a couple options. So one of my coaching clients who signed up for this, doing this over 4 weeks because week 2 is so intense and this became a lot. She asked if we could do it every other week. You can pay up full, or you can pay $139 a week. Okay. These are the options going on right now. I thought this is all we were to talk about in the live. I woke up this morning, the guys showed me so much more. They said, you need to make this affordable to everybody. Give them all as many options as possible because can be so simple. Like, we need to get out of the matrix. We are going through the 4th density ascension. We're going into the 5D earth. So we're going to get out of it one way or the other. It may not happen in this lifetime, but you will get out of it. And it may not be in my hands by teaching you these skills, but you will get out of it one way or the other. Okay. So if this is not feasible, my one client, she's the only one who's ever done it, and I've never offered this before to anybody else, but because this is very intense, we can go it every other week. So if you want to do every other week, it is $69 a week. This is the cheapest offer I have, okay? If you're looking for this is 8 weeks though, okay? 8 weeks. If you're looking for more instant results and you want to do this fast, this is the 4 weeks. And I know I'm like, I probably should have color coded these. 4 weeks. Let's do this. Let's make this so you guys can see. All right, guys, I never have a plan. I never know what I'm doing. I just get on and I channel. So I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what we're going to talk about until we're in the moment. 4 weeks. Pay in full, $139 a week. If you can't afford that, this is 4 weeks. This is, you're going to see money quick. You want to get out of the matrix now? Do that. 8 weeks. Let's say you can't afford $139 a week. We can do every other week. We can do it in 8 weeks. It's about the best I can push it out. $69 a week. Guys, if you guys know anything about Nikola Tesla, like the 3 and the 6s and the 9s, there's something really powerful there. That wasn't even like, let me tell you, I try to use angel numbers. And when my guides told me 1, 2, 3, 4, I was like, beautiful, I love it. Right? And then again, I want 55% off as an angel number. What are the freaking chances that 55% off of 1, 2, 3, 4 is 555? My guide showed me that because I'm in divine alignment. You can too when you get out of the matrix. 555 a week, right? For 4 weeks. But when you do it in 8 weeks, yes, the 3, 6, and the 9 are the magic numbers. To have 2 of them there, which actually, if you look at that, that's the same thing as the Cancer sign, zodiac sign, the yin and the yang. there is sexual meaning to it, which I don't need to get into that, but I'm just trying to talk about spirituality. But anyways, so I'm trying to make it as most affordable as possible, right? If you can't pay in full, we have weekly options. 4 weeks, you have all the skills. You can stretch it out at 8 weeks. That's about the most I could do it, right? I think anything outside of that, if I tried to do a 12-week, I feel that it would push it out too far out and people would get a little bit, I want to make sure this holds us accountable. This holds a container. You need an accountability partner to make sure you're doing the things. Having more than a week off feels too much. Here's what else my guide showed me. I do not have this up yet though, but if you're interested, tell me in the comments. Tell me in the comments. Tell me in the comments if this is you. I'd like to record this live where you can buy a video series. It's a one-time, it's going to be the cheapest rate. It's going to be, I don't know. I don't want to put any price points out there. I don't, it's going to be something really cheap. Oh, my laptop's going to die. Let me get my charger really quick. That also is telling me we've been on the live a while. So we're going to wrap this up here. If you want a video series, I mean, we're talking, I don't know. I don't even want to like, it would be the cheapest option. One-time payment, something very affordable. If you'd like to do that, it's going to be guided. I will send you a video series. You'll get the PDFs that can explain it. It's what I'd like to get out. I just need to find the time to film it. Soon, my guides, when I woke up this morning, somebody spending $100 or $200 is a one-time payment versus, you know, spending all of this for weeks, maybe the best option. It's something that's going to be affordable. We're going to 100, 200. I don't know. I have to wait for the number to come in. I don't want to make any promises because I don't know. Is it 111? Is it 333? Is it 222? I don't decide these numbers. My guides come in and tell me these. So it's going to be somewhere in there. I don't know, but a one-time payment to get all of this and do it on your own is going to be an option. If you are interested in that, let me know in the comments you want to buy the video series. It's going to be the cheapest option. I just moved, so I need to have time to film it, hopefully next month. Something we can stay tuned to, but I want to see if I'm going to film it regardless. So I'm going to put it on my website. But if there are people that are like, I really want this as the cheapest option, like there's a more urgency to get it done in 2 weeks versus 4 weeks. So that's why I'm saying, let me know in the comments that you're interested in a video series. Some people don't want to do one-on-one coaching. What happens during these 4 weeks or 8 weeks? Let's talk about this. Because I see somebody saying, how long are the weekly sessions for the 4 weeks? Let's talk about that. What does that actually mean? So that means once a week. There's only 4 weeks, okay? If we do the 4 weeks, it's once a week for 60 minutes. We jump on a video call. If it's 8 weeks, every other week for 4 sessions, we jump on a video call for 60 minutes. We're going to go over this in week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. This is what the program is, okay? So that's what we'll do. We have a 60-minute coaching session. We have different healing techniques in week 2, which I teach you. Not only do we do them, I teach you how to do them yourself. We have different healing techniques as well. All the way where we're learning money manifestation. Each week we check in on how much money you're making. We're going to set money goals. So you're going to tell me how much you want to make at the end of this. We're going to manifest this together. Each week we're going to check in on this, okay? So outside of those 60-minute coaching sessions, what else do you get? You get the PDFs. When I have the video series filmed, if you guys would like a recorded copy of it, I could gift that to you as well, because there's so much that we go into. This way you'll have the videos to go back onto. I don't have that filmed yet though, okay? But if you're interested, you have guided PDFs for each week. You'll have a video series. Once it's filmed, I can get that out to you. And then you'll have 60 minutes coaching sessions for 4 weeks or every other week for 8 weeks. Along that, we have all the stuff we talked about, and you get tech support, okay? My coaching clients I see over in WhatsApp. So let's say we go in and do some inner child healing and it brings up some wounds and you need to process and you need to integrate and you have questions. Let's say you're journaling prompts, you're not sure what to do. Let's say you're stuck on a PDF. Let's say you're trying this money magic, and you're like, can I substitute a green candle for a red candle? Like, whatever questions you have me on text support. Message me on WhatsApp, right? We can talk in voice text, we can type, I can send you more information, PDFs, links to videos, like whatever you need. You get me on tech support as well the whole way. Anything that comes up, it's not just you see me 60 minutes for a coaching session. You then have me on tech support. Like, let's talk about it. Let's work it out. I'm here to hold your hand and work you through all this. So when we're done with the program, you don't need to hold my hand because you're your own guru, you're your own master. You figured out how to leave this matrix. You've aligned the new money codes. You've activated wealth consciousness, and you become your own guru. Like, you have the toolbox. You learn all of this stuff. So this is what the program looks like. Let me read this comment. We must love, this is long, so I'm going to read this one just because I think there's some positivity here. There's been a lot of more questions and more positive feedback and stuff, so I wasn't reading them. This one says, we must love that we love. Share the love is not about getting money to share the information. It's about wanting all of us to be free, knowing that we are me. There's no distinction from one person to another, that we are all living this wonderful experience as source with all the different colors of the rainbow. Thank you for being, it means a lot to me. Beautiful. I love that, because all there is oneness, right? All there is oneness. We actually had to get out of the matrix to uncover that. It took me getting out of the matrix to get back in that free flowing energy, that feminine energy that allows me to surrender. Oh, I erased it. Surrender, to get me into that oneness, unity consciousness. So I'm going to drop, if anybody wants to sign up for this, let me know in the comments. I'm going to drop a link where you can sign up for the call at. You can ask any questions, anything that goes on with that. I'm going to get over in the, here, let me see if I can drop it in the live chat, but I'm also going to put it in the Facebook comments after the live, and I'm going to drop it in the YouTube comments, the regular comments as well after the live. But let me type this in the chat real quick. One second. Thank you for your patience. I was so just like free flowing that I had to use my brain here. I just check out from the mental plane when I start doing this stuff. And I was like, wait, typing words, hold on. I have to call back my energy because I've been just like in source's energy. Okay. You want to leave the money mind matrix and get out of Christmas Day, you can sign up here. Because again, remember, that's what brought us here. There's a reason I'm highlighting the money mind matrix program around Christmas time. I could be talking about this any time of the year. This is great to learn any time of the year, but around Christmas, when we have all these extra bills and all this extra finances and all these extra things coming up, it's the perfect time to activate this. To me, this is a one-time investment to lead to financial freedom. Who doesn't want financial freedom? We talked about all the benefits in the beginning, right? Travel, like the in-laws can stay at the hotel. You can go have luxury dinners, like whatever it is you need, whatever it is you want. All of that, no more haunted by bills, debt, credit cards, loans, all of that stuff, right? Especially right now, it's extra financial constraints around Christmas, but you'll have this toolbox forever. You guys heard my personal stories that are happening in my life right now. I didn't even talk about the Christmas energy of how that's going to affect me because I'm not worried about it. You saw what happened when I didn't worry. Money came in. You saw what happened when I surrendered and released. Money came in. And I literally could have talked about this in so much more detail. I was trying to keep things short because we've been on, I can talk a lot. It's been an hour and 40 minutes. I wanted to kind of explain some of this stuff even deeper, but That's what happens when you give me a coach. We go in. This was still very superficial. Let me tell you, everything we talked about today was very superficial. We haven't even got to any of the stuff yet. So any questions? I don't know why it looked like it only posted on the YouTube side in the live chat. So I will go drop it over in the Facebook here in just a moment. We're going to wrap up the session here. And yeah, let's get you out of the money mind matrix. Let's activate wealth consciousness. Let's align you with new money codes, or you don't have to worry about financial debt. We don't have to worry about constraints. You don't have to worry about, you don't need to worry about money. It's an energy. Everything is energy. Like, you just changed energy. We transmute it. We alchemize it. We transcend it. Like, when you can learn to manipulate, for lack of a better word, in our favor, like, oh, okay, I want goodness, but have it come to me. Release the negativity. Like, everything is energy, including money. You can bring it towards you, or you can push it away. Learn how to control that energy. Bring it in. You're in control. You are the creator. You are in charge of your whole reality here, okay? All right, guys, this is a good place to wrap up this live. Again, the link's in the chat, and I will go put it, it's in the live chat. I'll go put it in the regular comments as well. If this is you, we have it as low as $69 a week. And if you guys are interested in the video series that you can do on your own, let me know that there is an urgency and I can get it filmed sooner rather than later. It will be coming, but I just don't know how important it is. Are we in a couple weeks or a couple months? So let me know. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you got anything out of this video, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. This way I know you got something that resonated. You guys haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. There's a bell too. You'll want to hit the bell and turn on all notifications. Why? Because I don't want you guys to miss out on any upcoming messages. The next message just might be the message that you need to hear today. All right, my loves. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time, be blessed.